Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Sunday Night Live. We talk about all things automotive, and I am very excited because I have my friend Owen Moon with us today, talking about some fixed ops digital marketing. And that's something that pretty much anybody can use. And we're going to kick off the show. Well, actually, before I show what I was going to show, for the one or two people that might not know who you are, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you, how you got into this crazy business, a little bit about your fixed ops digital, and then we'll jump into it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for having me, Paul. I appreciate it. I've been kind of looking forward to this night all month long, and part of it is I was going to spend an hour with you, but part of it is also that we're through August, and August is one of those hot months, and everybody's kind of going on vacations and finishing up, getting ready for a big push to 2021. And so, as I was kind of telling you off camera here a little bit, we're kicking off kind of a big fourth quarter. Last I guess say 120 days of the year, and super excited for our future and kind of what's going on. As for those that don't know me, my name is Owen Moon. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Fixed Ops Digital. We are Automotive's premier service marketing and technology company out there. I've been working in this space this is my 21st year, so just finishing up 21 years working with dealerships. Obviously a lot of that time was spent on the sales side, helping dealerships merchandise their inventory, sell cars, drive good website traffic for people that are looking to buy cars. But kind of a unique situation came to me towards the end of 2017, and kind of jumped on it with Fixed Ops Digital. We put this business plan together to really help dealerships take their service marketing to the next level. And obviously bring it into the digital space, because most of what we see out there, from a strategy standpoint and that type of thing, was very much based on database marketing, going after previous customers, using more traditional styles. And we just saw a real need for dealerships to kind of expand their horizon and really start thinking about it from a digital standpoint. So that's how Fixed Ops Digital was born, and we took off pretty much instantaneously. We just celebrated our third year in business. Actually had the entire team out to our corporate headquarters in Denver, and brought everybody up to Vail, and went up on the gondola, and got to the top of the mountain and ate lunch, and really just kind of talked a little bit about both our experiences and how we got to where we are today, and then where we're looking to take our company. And so we currently service just over 500 dealerships nationwide, and we're working on some really neat things that we're going to be announcing soon. So with that, I feel very blessed to be able to do this every day and work with these dealerships and really help them, and very proud of my team and what we've been able to accomplish. So definitely look for Fixed Ops Digital and some things to come. And again, thanks for having me tonight, sir. There you go. Fixed Ops Digital, I like it.
There's a definite need for it, and I don't care where you go, and I'm going to illustrate that point right now. It's something that it's very big for me, because let's face it, only 18% of customers go back to their selling dealer for service. Only 30% of all customers go back to any dealer for service. So that's a huge disconnect. That's a lot of money I'd hate to say left on the table, because it's not really left on the table, because the other guys are going up to your table and they're taking it. So here, let me show you this here. This is the typical search that anybody would do. Oil change near me. Now, I'm scrolling down here. I see some aftermarket. I see a gas station. I see Monroe franchise, Valvoline franchise, Jiffy Lube. Okay, that's oil change near me. Now I'm going to do the next one here. That says brake service near me. I look through here. I see more aftermarket shops, Meineke, Monroe. I don't see any franchise dealers here.
Well, and that's a good point, Paul, because with the dealership, which is obviously our customer base and who we're trying to help, drive more visibility and drive more business. There's a whole other side of the business that we compete against. Unlike sales, where we're typically, competing against the other franchises in the market. Maybe
Yeah.
there's some used car stores that compete a little bit on the used car side, but not only do we have a competitor in the independents for the service side, but actually they're very formidable, right? They
Very fast
are,
competitor.
yeah, they're aggressive and they're taking our business every day. So I hear a lot from dealerships every day telling us how busy they are and how they can't really handle any more business on the service side and that type of thing. And a lot of that could be obviously valid, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is make sure that if somebody is out online looking for the different services that that they need to keep their car running in tip-top condition, that we help our dealerships get some of that action. And so there's definitely a big task ahead of us with that, because again, a lot of those Valvolines and Jiffy Lubes and different independents like that have just done such a great job for years on making sure that they get that information on their website and get it out online so people know.
Yeah, I mean, there's that opens up a whole other question, because if there's that much business out there and they can't handle anymore, that seems kind of crazy, right? I mean,
Seems like
I
an
would,
opportunity if you're an aggressive dealer, right? So
yeah, I mean, there's lots of opportunity. I mean, no, granted, some don't want it. Okay, I remember I called on a dealer principal, and I walked in and I asked him just a simple question: how far out are you booked for? He said 3 or 4 weeks. So wow, that's a long time. I said, I know I wouldn't wait, and I'm probably not that different than a lot of people.
well,
So I
you
said,
might not be able to wait, right? If it's depending on the
right,
service, it might be something that you need to get done now.
yeah,
Here's kind of what I've seen is that the opportunity and what dealers are really starting to look at is obviously express service. If they don't have an express lane, if they don't have a way to kind of get some of that oil change business, some of those tire rotations, windshield wipers, just batteries, anything that's going to be more of that general service,
yeah,
that's an opportunity. I've seen some dealerships take their entire internal repair and
yeah,
move it completely off-site. I think that's important because now you're not having, your inventory manager bringing in cars and it's competing against those customer pay
makes a lot of
side of
sense.
the business. Yeah. And then the last thing is just simply, and this is a little bit more aggressive, and I don't necessarily, say, hey, every dealer should do this, but doing two shifts, right? Doing a day shift
Yeah,
and a night shift. You bring a whole other crew in for the night shift and you've just doubled your capacity. So, there's a lot of, and that's a really aggressive dealer, right? That says, hey, I really want to take this thing to the next level and that type of thing. But I think just from a opportunity standpoint, those two things, first two things, any dealer could do really. And I think it
if
would be a
they
game
want,
changer for them. Every one of them. Yeah.
if they want to do it, because
Yeah.
this board, this dealer principal, I said, I'm probably not going to wait that long. I said, have you considered split shifts? He says, nope. I said, are you maxed out on your facility? Can you add bays? Can't add any more bays. Well, can you go remote? Nope. Do you have any interest in getting any more business? He says, nope. I said, okay, well, I appreciate your time and honesty. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And I left because, not everybody wants it, contrary to popular belief. But hold on a second. Let me just get caught up here. Ron Usher says, hi, Paul and Owen. And
Hey,
Michael
Ron.
says, good evening, all. Adam Dennis, all the way from the islands, says, hey, guys. And the coffee car guy himself, Lou Ramirez. Look at those two incredible solutionaries. Good to see you, Bruin Solutions. Keep growing.
What's up, Lou? How you doing, buddy?
So, yeah, so not everybody wants it. So, with the amount of opportunity that's out there, it seems to me that there are things that can be done to capture more of that business, right? What a problem to have. There's more business than you have time for.
Yeah, and then you just got to be smart. I mean, you can be busy or you can be profitable, Obviously, most dealerships are both. I mean, they're, we're not, I don't see a lot of dealerships are saying, I'm not making any money in my service departments. But, we have a unique opportunity with our company to really help the dealership shape, what types of services or what type of opportunities they want to go after. And so, and that can be done many different ways. And we've got several strategies to help us, kind of get that done. But, at the end of the day, that's the kind of thing that when you look at all the different revenue pillars that a fixed ops department has, you've got service, you've got parts, tires, accessories, collision. These are all great revenue drivers that most dealerships aren't really focused on. They're doing a little bit with service, but the other ones, I think tires are a great opportunity. Maybe not for profit, but for retention. Obviously,
Absolutely.
accessories are good. Yeah, so just a lot of different ways that a dealership can take that service department to the next level. But you said it right, if they want to, right?
If they want to. Now, the tire thing, look, you're not going to make a lot of money with tires.
No.
Period. Okay. But they're spin-off. The person that takes off the tire is usually the person doing the brakes. And there is opportunity there. And alignments. Look at alignments today. That's mishandled by so many. There's so many cars that need tires, and there's so many cars that need alignments.
Yeah, they're all tied together, right?
Yeah, once that machine's paid for, it's 100% profit right there. And
Absolutely.
I went into a store, I drove in, and the bay door opened. I drove in. I said, "How can we help you?" I said, "I want to get my alignment checked." And I called up, and you guys have one of those fancy machines that tells me whether or not I need an alignment. Well, yeah, you came in wrong. Well, what do you mean I came in wrong? Well, you're supposed to drive this way. Well, you work here, I don't. You guided me in, I came that way. So they took the car, brought it around, checked the alignment, got the printout, went on my way, never took my name, no information, there was no RO generated, nothing. So there's a place that has the tooling. There were enough people in the service drive working it to be able to work it properly and generate more business. So even if they gave me a no charge RO, it still opens up communication, right? Thank you for coming in, maybe a survey, how were you treated? And all of the other things that now puts me into that marketing cycle. Now, most dealerships that I've worked for focus on database mining only. It doesn't seem like they're going after the people that don't know them. And I think that's one of the areas where you guys excel, right?
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, I think most marketing strategies that we see from the service side of the business is you're exactly right. It's database marketing, right? It's going after those previous customers, and they can be in different, like we call them like audience buckets, right? You
Yep.
could catch those lost souls, people that have left you and don't, you haven't been back for a while. Maybe you want to give them a special offer to come back in. But you also have your regular maintenance interval customers that are coming in, and you want to send them those reminders and things like that. But you're right. That's the limit, right? That's your audience target, your list. And if you don't expand past that, the only business that you're going to get that's going to be new business is when somebody sells a car in the other side of your business and then brings them over to your service department. So, not that any dealership should ever stop doing that. I think that's probably one of the most important aspects of their business. And we see it all the time with a lot of the OEM approved vendors and things like that are really focusing on this. And but what we do is kind of take it to that next echelon, right? It's let's expand our targets. Let's get out online. Let's make sure that we're reaching people past that comfort zone, which in most cases it's about a 10 mile radius, right? That's where about 70% of ROs come from. And so we're going to reach a little bit farther out. We're going to get a lot more granular in how we target people. And then a big part of what we do is really providing a good infrastructure on their website to, once we drive that customer in, we want to give them all the information. We want to educate them on services. We want to provide them with recommendations, and we want to provide pricing integrity and pricing transparency. So when that customer that maybe doesn't know our dealership, that we're not a past customer, and we're bringing them in, that we're really setting up that dealership as the authority in the market for that service. It's just going to build trust, and make it easier for that customer to make that decision to come in and get service with that dealership. But customer pay RO, it's a big opportunity, and that's that's what we're going after. So just a little different. It's something that with digital you can now do rather effectively if you have the right the right partners. So
I've seen some of your landing pages on dealer websites, and they're pretty impressive because, as you said, it gives them the education, it gives them the why it's important, and then what you do and what it costs. It's very straightforward. So many dealer websites I visit today, it's singular focused. It's the front end of the store. Sales, get this special on a car that doesn't even exist. Right now we're in the bubble. It's probably going to last, I'm guessing, till Q2. But why spend all this money advertising something that you don't have?
Yeah,
Right?
100%. Well, and that makes it tough, right? Because when you don't have your website positioned well on the service side, and then something like this changes our environment with new cars, you're left kind of scrambling, right? The guys that have been working with us obviously have been well positioned to really build their service business through their website, and then through other digital marketing initiatives, email marketing, stuff like that. I mean, our assets that we provide our dealership and we deploy on the website really enhances all their efforts. But one thing that we really do focus on, and I haven't touched on it too much so far tonight, is late ownership services. This is an area where we saw the value in late ownership services right from the beginning when we started talking to stores and really kind of getting into the trenches with this. There's a really inherent value to that it's going to be a higher dollar RO. It's going to be higher margins, so the dealership is going to make money as opposed to maybe just a bunch of more oil changes that don't necessarily create profit. And but what's really kind of happened kind of inadvertently is with all this new car issues that we're having, bringing somebody in on a late ownership service and showing them that they're going to have a $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 RO because they they have some problems with a vehicle that's 5, 6, 7 years old. It's a great way for us to kind of trade it in or use that opportunity to do a trade cycle, right? To sell that next car, bring that customer back in, and so right now that is something that has been a big focus for a lot of dealerships because they are trying to find inventory anywhere they can, right? So
What's interesting, and I found, let me just go to Michael Weldon's comment first, counts towards factory retention numbers, even if check is at no charge. Now we can solicit the customer for other services. Yeah, exactly. And that other dealership completely missed the point on that.
100%.
But
yeah, they seem to be driving you away more than
yeah.
they were trying to earn your business, right?
Oh, and another dealership now. You mentioned express service before. Okay, so I needed, I was still on the road. I needed an oil change or a service, right? Everybody calls it an oil change. It's a service. It's an oil change plus a tire rotation and a safety inspection. That's what it is, right? And that's, I don't know, $110, $120. Most places on a Subaru. I would imagine most other cars as well. So I drive in. I said, yeah, I need my whatever mileage interval service. What day would you like to come in? So, well, it said express on the outside of the building, so I'm here now. Well, we can't do it now. Well, do you have time next week sometime? Next week sometime? No. Did I misread the thing that said express? I'm here now. I need it done now. It's an oil change and tire rotation. I'm sorry, we can't do it. And this was long before, it was BC, before COVID. So
yeah.
there really was no excuse at that point. I was still doing a lot of driving on the road. There was no excuse at that point. to say no to anybody.
Well,
That's our schedule.
yeah, and obviously, we are marketing, right? We're a marketing company. We're helping dealerships promote their services and their dealership, mainly on the digital side or 100% on the digital side. But I've been saying this for years, and it wasn't my line, but it's something you learn in college and when you're doing marketing, it's people, product, promotion, right? And I always say promotion's number 3 where it belongs, and people is always number 1. Product, in this case, product could be anything from training to, just everything, how the process works when they get through. Obviously, the people have to be part of that whole process. And then the last thing is the promotion. And we always say that we can advertise and we can promote and we can do everything. But if it gets dropped at the dealership level, all you're doing is pushing more people into a bad situation. So I think more dealerships are really taking taking ownership in that department and really focusing on what can we do to kind of help that experience. And we're helping the experience online and on their website, and we're hoping that it carries on through to the actual experience when they get to the lot. And that would be my challenge to every dealership is relook at those internal processes and what can you do to really make that experience a positive one for the dealership, because I think a good experience will increase ROs, it'll increase revenue, it'll increase referrals, and it'll increase retention. And I think it all starts there. But we do our part on the website. But obviously, if I don't know if you guys ever been to a restaurant where you read something online and then you showed up and it wasn't the same, even close to the same thing, or maybe a hotel or something like that, a resort.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nothing worse than having those expectations not be met in all assets of all areas of your life, not just on the automotive side. So
Ron Usher says tires and alignments are a big thing. Most that buy tires will do the alignment. You then can sell more from there. Once you have their trust, just make sure you do it right the first time. I mean, like I said, the person that takes the tire off is generally the person that does the brakes and does the alignment, because who buys tires without doing an alignment if they need it?
Well, and I'm in enough stores, not as much obviously in the last 18 months or so, but previous to that, I was in different stores every week, and I've never really seen a great tire promotion or a good merchandising at the dealership of tires. What does your tire rack look like? What does your tire display look like? What are you doing to really promote tires? And a lot of that can be done in the area where customers can see it while they're sitting there waiting to get other services. And I still don't see a really good tire expo, I guess you could say, at the dealership in most cases. So I think that's something that dealerships should really look at for 2022 and kind of where are they going with it? How do we get more tire business? Because tires are a huge retention piece, as we all know, and we might as well try to keep that business as opposed to lose that to that discount tire store down the road. That then they're going to be aggressive and start getting oil change business, and pretty soon you're trying to conquest that customer back in. Right? They're no longer your customer anymore. So,
hey, I used to run stores. I used to run several Midas franchises, and we specialize in exhaust, suspension, brakes, stuff like that. And I just took it upon myself years ago to start doing the factory maintenance. I'd see the stickers in the window, and I'd see somebody was due for something, and I said, "Listen, hey, come here. I see you got this. You're due for this service coming up here. For the reason you come to us to have your other work done, we could save you money and save you a trip having to go to the dealership. Unless you want to spend the day there, that's up to you."
Yeah, let's do it right now.
You can do that? Oh, absolutely. I peeled that sucker off real quick, put our sticker in place, and did the job. And people were coming back to us for just about everything, even stuff that we didn't do. So that's a definite opportunity that the aftermarket is capturing on.
Well, and I think prepaid maintenance has to be taken just has to be taken the right way, right?
Yeah.
Most dealerships or a lot of dealerships will look at prepaid maintenance as maybe a nuisance, right? Because it's everybody has to come in and get it, and it's maybe not very profitable and that type of thing. But it's where you're building that relationship.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's where if I was in that position, it's where I'm learning about that customer, learning about their family, learning about what motivates them and what drives them. Because you might get somebody that's really into accessories, and what a
Right.
great way to do that by selling them rims and tires and things like that. But you won't know that until you get to know those people, and that's the best time to do it, when it's when their guards down, and when they don't know, they know they're not going to have to come there and spend any money out of pocket, but maybe they want to and they just haven't been offered. So
My friend Tully is a big one for sell the green.
sell the
Right.
green.
So now, if you make that part of your culture, the customer comes in. I'm old. All right. I just turned a milestone birthday recently, so I'm old. And anybody else that's old may remember a Southern guy by the name of Jackie B. Cooper. Jackie B. Cooper said, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." And that's very true. So you
100%.
start training the customer from the very beginning. A new car, sell the green. They come in for their 5,000 or 6,000 mile service, depending on the model. Hey, this is what we did. This is why we did it. And I just want to show you, this is what a good time, your car is new. These tires, they're rated for X amount of mileage. Now, as you come to us for servicing, we'll keep an eye on it to make sure that your car is always up to optimal levels. Okay, so each time they come in, you reintroduce that conversation. They know they don't need it now, and you've told them they don't need it now. They don't need it next time. They don't need it the time after that. But guess what? By the time, depending on how aggressively they drive and what kind of car they have, somewhere between 30 and 45,000 miles, most people are going to need some tire work. And if you've told them 4 or 5 times before they didn't need them, and gradually at the point where they do need them, then the trust factor is probably tenfold, because you weren't trying to sell them something and you cared about them as a customer first, enough to spend time to educate them as to what needs to be done so they can keep their cars longer. The average car on the road today, I think it just crossed over the 12-year mark.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
huge. That's huge.
Well, and now take it one step further, Paul, and imagine if all of that was on your website.
Yes.
Imagine if all of that content, that information, that validation that service advisor is telling that customer, if they went to the website and they were almost verbatim be able to see and read and get video and
Yeah.
all the different ways that we help communicate with that customer, those value propositions for tires, for
Yeah.
services, for accessories. What we are trying to do is really help the dealership kind of pre-sell things, or
Yeah.
at least pre-educate the customer. So when an advisor does come over and say, "Hey, we just did an analysis, we just did some diagnostics, and here's some things that we found, wrong with your vehicle," they may have already said, "Man, you know what? I've never had that service done, and on your website it said it needs to be done at 40,000 miles, and I've got 80."
Right.
I've heard horror stories of people doing that with oil changes. We don't want to do that, but
Right.
obviously, but anything that is anything that's maintenance focused, let's get that out on your website, and let's do it in a way that really gives that customer a good online experience, pre-appointment, that type of thing.
Right.
So
Just each step of the way, all that education goes a long way, because I'm in the business and I've been in the car business over 41 years. My current car, one of them has, I think I'm at like 69,000 miles. I've never done any brake work. So I know at any time I go, and they check it each time, but I know at any given time I go in, I'm going to need it. And I'm
it's
going to do
coming.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's coming. So for the person that's not in the car business, that type of education where you've really dedicated to building out your service pages, so you let people know you're not just there to sell them a car and see you later. You buy the car one time, you service it many times. But yet, time and time again, I go on websites because I do my homework and I need to make sure that I'm looking out for the people I need to look out for. And it's all, specials on sales. That's it. That's it. Nothing on service.
Yeah, 100%. And the nice thing about that too, or I guess the opportunity there is that if you showcase your services, on your website, if you have great information and then kind of bring it along the path to the right, what we call in the industry, the right conversions, right? Right, conversion opportunities, you're going to see an increase in appointments, either through phone calls to like a service BDC or your appointment coordinator, or, really even embracing the online scheduler, which more and more customers are starting to do every day. So, you have to know your audience too. A lot of the database marketing that we kind of started the show with,
Yeah.
we use email marketing to drip campaigns. We use text messaging to send reminders. But if I'm going online as a customer and I'm looking for something, it's because I've got a need that has changed today. Maybe it's that brakes scenario you just used. You knew it was coming, and as you pulled into your driveway the other day, they started to squeak a little bit, right? They started to make some
Yeah.
noise, and you're like, "Oh, here we go." So that there's something that has changed in your situation that you now have to go out and say, "Well, I want to know where to get that service done. Who can do it the right way with the right equipment?" But I don't want to overpay for it. So
Right.
all of that comes into that thought process. I don't need to do a drip campaign to an email blast to that guy, right? That
Right.
customer, is not even there yet. That customer is still
Right.
just trying to figure out where to get that done. So what we tell everybody is we're focusing on those actionable conversions. It's the ones that are going to drive those appointments. They're going to drive that engagement. And then once we build that customer base or build that customer, then we can work off of the other other CTAs that are out there that are great CTAs. Just got to know your audience, so.
Have you seen any shifting in marketing spend towards service since COVID?
Yeah. We doubled in size last year, as a company, and we knew that 2020 was going to be a big year for us because we had kind of used 2019 as a growth year. We really kind of knew coming into 2020 it was going to be a big year for us, and obviously when COVID hit, there was that little lull, probably a 4-week lull where I think
Yeah.
everybody was kind of on the edge of their seat, going, "What are we going to do? What's going to happen?" And the moment we realized, and the government came out and said service departments for automotive dealers are essential, everything turned back on, and pretty soon we're getting phone calls. We really said we're going to help our dealerships through this time, and so yeah, that helped us. Obviously, one of the things that we really stress is, why spend money on direct mail or email marketing if you're going to not have nothing on your website to back up some of the
Right.
claims that they're getting. So we don't charge a lot for our product. Like our drive service solution is very affordable for dealers. But for us, it's usually a starting point. We know that, as we kind of grow their belief in digital, and a lot of times that's sometimes a harder thing to accomplish than we ever would have thought, on the sales side, obviously.
Yeah.
Once we get that belief and they start understanding that digital is going to be a part of their future and a part of their strategy going forward, now we can, start doing, social media marketing like Facebook,
That's
get into
good.
paid search, things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of other ways that we can drive business, and obviously that's all budget driven. So as we've grown those pieces of our business as well, we're seeing just dealerships really creating this nice synergistic approach to their digital, fixed ops advertising. So.
Now, do you do a lot in retargeting?
Retargeting is really more getting the information for some of the common services back to them. So we do some retargeting, especially on social media.
Yeah.
We also have a piece of technology called Dealer Wallet. Dealer Wallet is really the print coupon, I guess you could say, replacement. Obviously, most of the traffic that we see coming through our dealerships is mobile, from the service side. And so what we don't want to do is we don't want to bring a customer into the website from their mobile device and then ask them to print a coupon because no one's got a portable printer, at their hip. So, imagine that world. But so what we do is we let customers use their Apple Wallet, some of the other tools that are already in their smartphones to save those passes or save those coupons. And then what's really cool about that is that we can do push notifications. So some automation can happen there, and it's kind of like another version of retargeting, because if they end up at a discount tire store right down the road from us, why not send them a little push notification that reminds them that they've got a, buy 3 get 1 free tire offer in there, at the dealership. And it's some of it's to kind of help with defection and that type of thing, but some of it's just to really kind of complement today's service customer, which has definitely evolved. So,
and what's good about the digital piece too is that the millennials, which make up a very large chunk of the market, a lot of them don't even own printers.
No, I have no idea.
Need for it. So if you have something digital, I mean, it's a lot easier to whip out your phone and so, here's what I have.
Well, and what's funny is with the desktop side of it, we use a QR code to help bring that environment into their phone. So if they are on their desktop, they can just snap a picture on their QR code and it starts the process. Well, QR codes were all but dead until COVID hit. And obviously the bars and the restaurants really started using QR codes to do menus. It's like it got rejuvenated. It was like all of a sudden, everybody was using QR codes again. And of course, they made them easier too. You don't have to download QR code reader apps, and you just got to use use the camera on your phone now. So all of it kind of came together at the same time for us. And, we've definitely seen the benefits for our dealerships.
Yeah, no, it makes it a lot easier. Squire Pettis says, Google is normally going to send you as a client to any and all independent shops, or even better, Iffy Lube, as those companies pay for those search results. There's no question that they're actively going after the business. There's no question. The proof is in it, because you could do the same searches, at anybody's dealership from their parking lot, and the results will largely be the same, with the exception of some of the stuff you do. Because I think, if I remember correctly, somebody was searching for wiper blades in a particular area, your dealers would come up.
Yeah, there's a lot of different strategies that we do to help our what we call visibility. We want to get the dealership visible for different search results. And we're really going after those local search results, those brand specific ones, as well as actionable ones, right? People that are actually searching for, I know there's some strategies out there I've seen, people have brought it to my attention, where some of the website providers are doing some really weird stuff with, hey, look at this page that we built and that you're getting all this traffic. Well, what we find is that traffic's coming from all over the country. Well, look, people might buy cars and ship them all over, but nobody's driving, 100, 200 miles to get an oil change or to get a service done. So we only care about local service and local search. And so, that's really where our focus is. But yeah, there's, Squire's 100% right. When there's no content on the website that matches the search intent of that customer, they're going to go to the Repair Pals, the Yelps, the independents. But I think we can win, and here's how we can win, and here's how we are winning, is we have a better message. We have better equipment. We have better fluids, OEM parts. We've got, the people, right? Certified technicians, master certified techs. We have the better facilities, and all we got to do is get that information out to those customers, and in turn, give them the experience when they get to the dealership. If all of that happens, we will never lose business to an independent. And obviously we're not there, but that's our mission every day as Fixed Ops Digital, and that's what we do for our guys. And we're pretty good at it, but we're getting stronger. And obviously, the longer we're in business, and we work with some really, really great dealer partners that make us better every day. And so it's a team effort for sure. But that is something that I can't stress enough, is that we have the better message. go to your website and tell me if it's being portrayed. And I 7 out of 10 times it's not. And, hopefully we can close that to 2 out of 10 times by continuing to serve the dealer community like we have been.
And the great thing about building out a lot of service content is for the visitor and the returning visitor that goes there, you make it seem very normal, right? This is the place to come for all of your servicing. Look how much time we've invested in making sure that we've covered every base of your service experience over the length of time that you're going to own the car. That type of dedication shows them that you're in the service business. It's not an afterthought. It's not here, we just have these 3 coupons and that's it. That's more of a what's in it for me as the dealer than it is what's in it for you as the customer. That conversation puts you in a whole different light.
Yeah, there's some different things you could do there, that and we won't get too much into strategy tonight, but when it really comes down to it, we don't work too much off of discounts. If you're going to discount somebody, send it to that lost customer that you're trying to get back. And heck, like you said, give them a free oil change just to get them back in the door. But if I'm coming to the website as a customer, or if I'm driving people to the website, I just want to be competitive and I want to be transparent. Too many times it's 10% off this or $10 off that. And lack of information means as a customer, I'm leaving. So, that's what we really kind of focus on, is just making sure that we're showcasing the services that we offer, that we're being transparent, and then that we're educating. And then to your point, we want it to look organic, right? The sales side of the business, there is so much plugins, technology, and sometimes it can look very circusy because nothing really jives, right? It doesn't really kind of go together. Well, same thing on the fix op side. If you have a piece of software that you plug in and it doesn't match anything else on the website, customers are savvy. They're not stupid these days. Yeah. They're going to look at that and go, wait a minute, this isn't something that came from, my dealership. So one of the things that we really focus on and we're proud of is the brand, the brand protection that we provide. When somebody goes to a Honda website and they see our stuff, it looks like it belongs. It looks like it was done organically. We call it evergreen. And, same thing with a Subaru dealer, a Toyota dealer, Nissan dealer. It's going to have the same structure, right? And same kind of all the parts are there, but it's just going to be done in a way that really matches the brand colors and specs and that type of thing. And, it's why we are being looked at by a lot of OEMs right now, and they like what we're doing because we are providing that infrastructure that they so desperately need and have never been able to get accomplished. So
now your comment about the discounting is the perfect segue for 2 things. 1, just a quick message from one of our sponsors, and then 2, I've got an interesting thing to spring on you.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Ken, discounting is something that's kind of inevitable, but there's got to be a good way or a bad way to do that as it relates to retail warranty and reimbursement.
Well, you're exactly right. You need the discount to your advantage. There are 2 types of discounts, Paul, on a repair order. There's what we call a line item discount, and that's where the discount is assigned to a specific repair or maintenance item. And then, like many dealers do, they just discount the entire repair order. Well, when you discount the entire repair order, that will actually hurt you when it comes to retail warranty reimbursement, because now you have to assign that discount to all the repairs on the repair order. If you're specific and do line item discounts and you don't discount the items that are used for your warranty reimbursement calculation, you don't have to assign the discount to that line. You assign it to the oil change line, which isn't used. So be very specific, and you can get really granular with discounting too. You can assign line item discounts to parts or labor. So if you're going to do a labor rate submission anytime soon, obviously you're not going to want to discount any labor, you discount parts. So discounting, you can do it, but do it intelligently. Use your head. Don't discount the RO, discount the line. That's our tip of the day.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
The other part, I don't
Smart
know.
man.
Yeah, no, they really know their stuff. The other part, and I don't know if you saw this thread on Facebook or not, but somebody was advertising giving 3 free oil changes. Have you seen that thread?
I did. Yes, I saw that. I read a little bit of that.
Now, what I thought was really interesting, and I'd love your take on it. I have my opinion on it. There seem to be 2 camps on that particular marketing. There are people that said that's crazy. Oh no, they'd have to sell X amount of dollars in order to even to do that. And there are other people that said that's freaking genius. I happen to be, my opinion, and it's not an exact science, in the I think it's freaking genius category for. And this is the way I see it, and I'd love your feedback on it. Dealers spend 600 and change. I don't know what that number has adjusted to, with COVID, but typically they spend $633 per retail customer to get them in the door. Okay. Now, I'm thinking that in today's market, you don't need to spend as much to get those people to come in the door. You could reallocate some of those monies. What do 3 oil changes really cost you? I'm not talking about retail. I'm talking about on the dealer spend side. If you cut back some of that $633 that you spend, I'm thinking it really costs you nothing. When you reallocate funds that way. On the plus side, you bring somebody in that maybe never heard of you, but they're coming for something for free. Now, you could, if you clobber them over the head the first or second time they come in, they're going to say, I knew there was a catch. But if you're honest and you take the time to build the relationship in a visit like that, I think you have a real strong possibility of gaining a new customer for life if you can gain their trust and have them come back to you over and over. What are your thoughts on that scenario?
Well, I haven't thought about it too much because obviously you just hit me with this, but I have mixed feelings on it because I think from a marketing standpoint, you're right, it's genius, right? You bring people in, they don't have to worry about paying for anything today. So it creates an opportunity to build a relationship 3 times. I would like to see it a little bit more integrated with some other things. Maybe it's part of a, kind of a package 1, package 2, package 3, where it's like, hey, you get this free oil change, but we also do these other services. That's one way you could kind of tie it in. But at the end of the day, what the only thing that scares me with it is you've heard of a company called Groupon.
I was just going to throw that in.
And the reason why I bring it up is because the Groupon model was supposed to do exactly what this scenario is. It was supposed to introduce a customer to a new vendor or a new company that they maybe would never have gotten that business. Yeah. And all I ever heard was horror stories. In my market, there's a massage therapist that I know that she almost lost her business because of Groupon. Because what ended up happening is that by the time she gave away all her profit to Groupon to get these first customers in, she couldn't get any of her regular customers booked. And then she basically, those people that were coming in for those one times, it never created the retention that she thought. It ended up being a one and done. Okay, now I'll go find the next Groupon. I'll go find the next Groupon. Pretty soon you just get
my $20 haircut.
Yep. And then I'll go to the next $20 haircut, next $20. So I think it can be effective. I think there has to be something more with it to maybe kind of make it more of a well thought out marketing strategy. Yeah. But look, the idea of bringing a customer in 3 times to build a relationship, there's nothing wrong with that. So from a philosophical or just a psychological type scenario, 100% I like it. Again, you just got to be careful because you could end up affecting your regular customers and then also create an environment where you don't gain that retention anyways. So
It's all in the execution, because I've seen a lot of these Groupon places, because I've chased a few Groupons, I'm not going to lie,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but a lot of these places saw the Groupon person as like the leper coming into the store. Ugh, another Groupon. Ugh. You know, they looked at it totally differently. And yeah, I've heard a lot of people just went in for the Groupon, really didn't care about anything else. But here's an interesting statistic in another industry, in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, what you big in.
Different, you know, that's the other industry I service, right? Different industry, but same people. The people that drive a car drive that car to a restaurant, all right? And in the restaurant world, if you can get somebody to come to your restaurant 3 times, there's an 85% probability that they, unless you piss them off or serve them some crap food, there's an 85% probability that they are a lock, that they're going to be disciples for your restaurant. They're going to send people, they're going to bring people. Again, I don't know what that percentage would turn into in the car business, but it's an interesting idea. And the counterpoint that you mentioned is a very real and good one, because there could be a lot of people that if they're not handled properly when they go in for this free service, that might just see it as I'm here for my $20 haircut, and that's it. That's all they go for. So that's an interesting point. That's what I love about having conversations about stuff, especially if I spring something on you, because I don't know how you're going to react, and you may agree or disagree. You and I, we don't agree on everything.
Yep.
What we agree on is our friendship, but we don't agree on, there are other things that we don't agree on, and that's okay. It's okay to disagree, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? The nice thing about this industry is we're a big family, and that's what I like, is that, you know, when you take anything personal out of the way or anything, that it's like, we are here to serve the dealers who we know need to serve customers. So let's figure out the best way that we can do that. And that's what Fix Ops Digital has really built their business on. You know, our performance team, you know, that's what they do every day, is they're working with our dealership clients to strategize and execute, and, you know, think outside the box, and, you know, what types of things can we do? To your point, 3 oil changes, you know, that's an idea that very well could have came from one of my performance people to a dealership. We do stuff like that all the time, and then we see the benefits of it, and then we go out and we talk to other dealerships about, you know, some of the things that we're seeing, you know, in other parts of the country, and kind of feed off that together. And I think that's you know, that makes a great dealer client partnership across the board. So
It's a ballsy move for sure. I mean,
yeah.
we've kind of shifted in our business, right? I've been in it long enough. I've seen the guys come out of the trenches and spend stupid money on stuff to try it, right? Nobody had it, nobody heard of it, but they wanted to try it because nobody heard of it. They kind of bought into the picture that was painted for them, but at the same time, there was no history behind it.
No.
There's nobody that could say, oh yeah, you got to do that. They embraced the tools, they spent the money, and they dominated. They came through like freaking Vikings and conquered, right? We've kind of shifted that to more of a, I don't know if I want to put my head too far out, because there's a chance that if I take it too far out and I'm wrong,
Get it knocked off. Yeah.
I'm going to get knocked off, right? There seems to be a fear of putting your neck out there to try new things.
Well, it's funny you say that, because obviously, if I wouldn't have had and Kevin Colma, who's one of my partners, if we would not have had a really, really strong dealership, you know, base of dealers that we worked with when we came into Fix Ops Digital, we'd have never got it off the ground, because what we had to do was we had to prove ourselves, and we had to do it with progressive dealers. I distinctly remember 3rd month into doing this side of the business, I was talking to a dealership, and he says to me specifically, call me in a year. If more of my competitors are doing, I'll jump on. And I hung up the phone and I said, I'm never calling that guy again. because that's not my customer. My customer is progressive. My customer is, hey, I want to be the leader in the clubhouse, not part of the pack. And, some dealerships want to be in the middle of the pack. They just want to, kind of do what other people are doing. It's why you still, when all these third-party sites came out, like cars.com and stuff, some guys didn't jump on right away because they were waiting for somebody to fail so they can say, I was smarter. I didn't jump on that. Once they realized that it was something they need to be on, then they jumped on. And, that's with any side of the business. So, yeah, definitely.
They're in the right lane like this. And if a car came up on their bumper,
yep, let them go through.
Go around. I want to wait until everybody's captured the business. They've proven that it works. And once everybody's taken all of my customers and they've proven to me that it works, then I might think about a 60-day trial before I decide if I even want to do it, right? It's a whole nother thing than the guy coming out with both guns blazing.
Yeah, sometimes just running through the door is the easiest way to do it, right? So,
yeah.
But
now, so I know what you do with websites. You have a whole team of performance managers that works with the dealers directly, one-on-one.
100%. Yeah, our performance team is based out of Chicago, and really, they we do have a couple others that are remote across the country as well, but that's where our performance offices is in Chicago area. And when we started building the performance team, we said, you know what, most startups, we're still in our third year, so I'd consider us kind of a startup still. You're going to hire maybe less experienced, cheaper employees, people that are, going to be able to, kind of get the job done, but there's going to be training involved, and you're going to have some growing pains and things like that. And I think we're growing at such a clip and at such a fast pace that we said, you know what, I'm going to break the mold here, and we're going to go after more seasoned people that can really dig in with these dealerships. And, we train every week, we train every month, but I didn't have to train them on how to build relationships and work with the dealerships. And I think, that's something that has set us apart from, competitors, or just, as dealerships are really trying to learn, what digital can do for them. We've got to be able to articulate, what we're doing for them from the results, from the reporting, from strategy, that type of thing. And so, very proud of my performance team. We just highlighted them this month, actually. If you go to the Fixed Ops Digital Facebook page, there's probably a post or two about, our performance team. And, we're building a really solid group, and, I can't be happier with where we're headed as a company. So.
Yeah, no, you guys do a nice job. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, I want you to put in don't do it here, but after the show, if you go into the post on LinkedIn, you put all, your best contact info, because like most people, they remember what they forgot to ask after they had the opportunity. So if you put it in the comment section, that lives on forever. If you and I expired tomorrow, it stays on the internet forever.
Well,
Brian,
yeah, and you can find me all over the internet. I mean, obviously, just Facebook, LinkedIn, on our website, that type of thing. But yeah, I'll put my contact info. I'd love to talk to anybody that maybe had some exposure to some of this, but just didn't really know where to go. We really, our hashtag. Of course, everyone's got to have a hashtag, right? Our hashtag is Service Marketing Made Easy. The reason why is that as we start working with service managers, fixed ops directors, they're busy. They're usually understaffed. A lot of things going on, trying to juggle many things. The last thing they want to do is get in and start looking at digital stuff. So, we want to get them on a call, spend a half hour going through some things, talk about the next 60, 90 days, and then get them on their way. And so we make it really easy for customers to work with us. And, that's one of the things that we work every day is just helping our dealerships. And so, I'll definitely put my contact info. And Paul, appreciate you giving me an hour tonight. So.
Thank you. And Brian Maxwell says, I agree, Paul. I think that was a comment regarding the free oil changes. Ron Usher says, trust is free. It may be free, but it still has to be earned.
True.
Because it's real easy. You can spend 20 years building trust, and you could lose it in 5 minutes. I mean, it's literally that easy to lose trust. So I appreciate you spending the time with us Sunday night. Great stuff always from Fixed Stops Digital.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, sir. Take care.
All right, I'm gonna just see. Just don't forget, Thursday coming up is the vendor showcase. Let me just put that up so people can see. Up. Hold on a second. So that's Thursday from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon Eastern time. So with that, I wish everybody a successful week. Up, one comment coming through. Mark Williamson said, "Great show." Thank you very much, Mark. Mark is a loyal fan, man. He's in every week. I appreciate the people that tune in every week, and a lot of people catch it on the replay, which is great about the show, because weeks later I'll get comments that go on something that's 45 minutes into an hour show. So greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a successful week, and we will see you next week on Sunday Night Live. Thanks again, Owen.